All right, in this video, we are going to work through some of the Newton problems on graph transformations, or at least this one right here. Okay, so the very first thing that I like to do is move this red graph. So you're given this blue graph. This is y equals f of x. And then you want to draw the transformed graph with these red points. And you do that by like moving these points around and dragging them out. So I generally, what I like to do is to line these up with the points on the blue graph first, okay? I understand why they don't line it up originally, because then when they're lined up, it's a little bit hard to see the blue graph, right? You can't tell it's there, okay? So, but anyway, I just prefer it to be lined up first like this. All right, and then what I'm going to do is go through and figure out which transformations were made to y equals f of x to end up with the graph of y equals 1/3 f of x. And so I would look at these 6 transformations, and you can see, right, that it's this one right here, where I multiply k times f of x, okay? All right, and so identify that one, and this one, it's just one step, right? All I need to do is multiply f of x by f of x, right? And I'm right there where I'm at. So in this case, my k is 1/3, right? And so then what you really want here in these problems is the pointwise effect. What would that do to the points on the graph, right? And so what you should do is to multiply each y value by k, all right? So going back to this graph here, we can see we have 0, 0, 1, 6, and 3, 0. All right. So if we have the point 0, 0, we know what we're going to do to each of these points is multiply the y value by k, which in this case is 1/3. Okay. All right, so on this one, right, we would multiply the y value by 1/3, and 0 times 1/3 is just 0, right? So that point actually doesn't get moved at all. The next point was 1/6. So again, to figure out where we should move that point to, we should multiply the y value by 1/3. And 6 times 1/3 is 2. So that point will get moved to 0, 2. And I believe the last point was 3, 0. So we would need to figure out where that point gets moved to. Oops, I messed up here. I wrote the wrong y value, right? We multiply the y value by 1/3, but do not change the x, right? So this should be 1, 2, right? Sorry about that. All right, next up is for this point right here, we multiply the y value by 1/3, again keeping the x value the same, right? So that would be 0 times 1/3, and so we get 3, 0, because 0 times 1/3 is 0. All right. And so then we just go back and move the points that we need to. 0, 0, that doesn't have to be moved. 3, 0, that doesn't have to be moved. But 1, 6, right, needs to be moved to 1, 2. So we just grab this point and just move it to where it's supposed to go. So 1, 2 would be right there. And that's it. Okay. All right, and that is it on this one.